Okay, welcome to day 5. We're going to continue talking about functions. So recall that a function is a set of ordered pairs, x comma y, in which every x value is paired with one unique or one and only one y value. So we can use this vertical line test to determine if it's a function. So what is the vertical line test? It's a test to determine whether a graph is a function. So if any vertical line you can draw intersects the graph more than once, it fails the vertical line test and it is not a function. So let's take a look at this first graph. So if I just think about anywhere that I can put a vertical line through here, so a vertical line would never go through this graph more than once. So that means that it is a function. So if we look here, this vertical line that I drew through here, that's just one example, but anywhere that I draw one, it will only go through the graph once. So I can say that the graph is a function because it passes the vertical line test. Okay, well now let's look over here at this one. Same idea, if I put a vertical line here, well here I can come up with an example where the vertical line goes through the graph in two places. So this time I can say this graph is not a function because it fails the vertical line test. But I need to know, in order to answer a question with that, I need to know why that's the case. So why does the vertical line test prove a graph is not a function? How does vertical line crossing through a graph more than once relate to the definition of a function? Well, the vertical line test shows that at a given x value, wherever we put the line, there's either one or more than one y value. If there's one unique y value, it's a function. Otherwise, it is not a function. Okay, so let's look at some examples. All right, so let's try this first example. If we have this function and they listed out some points that are in the function, what is the domain? Well, remember, domain is always our x values. So if I look at my function, I'm going to say, okay, well, every x, points are always x comma y, so all my x's are my domain. So then I just need to list those out. When we list them out, we always use the curly brackets to say that it's a set of values. And then we always have to list them in order. So I'm going to say, okay, so we start with, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, so I can just go ahead and write them the way that they show up. Those are my domain, my x values. And then we always end with the curly bracket as well. Okay, so that's the domain. Range, on the other hand, talks about our y values. So I'm going to, again, highlight them up here. So it's always x comma y, so all of my second parts are the y values. And if I look there, I see 7, 5, 6, 7. In order would be 5, 6, 7. We do not have to write things more than once if they show up more than once. We just, writing it at all shows that it's in the function, so you don't write it twice. That's just not necessary. So 5, 6, and 7 are our y values, so that's our range. Okay, so then it says, is it a function? Why or why not? Well, remember, functions mean that every x has one and only one y value. So really what I'm looking for is to find out if the x values repeat. Well, these x values, none of them repeat, so then this is a function.
So we say yes, it is a function. So we say yes, it is a function because none of the x values. Okay, find f of 3. Okay, find f of 3.
Well, remember that these are always written as f of x, so the 3 is in place of the x. So basically, I want to know what's the y value when x is 3. So if I look up here, the x value of 3 is paired with a y value of 6. So f of 3 is 6. Okay, the next one says find f of 1. Again, the 1 is an x value. So when the x value is 1, what's the y value? It's 7. So f of 1 equals 7. Now this is a little different. They're saying that if f of x is 5, that means that's the y value. What is x? So when y is 5, if I look up here, y value of 5 is paired with an x value of 2. So for this one, I have to say that the x equals 2, a little bit different than the previous. Okay, in this example, let H be a relationship that assigns each student's ID number to their grade level. So this is just in words. So H is the student ID number, goes to grade level of the student, assign each student's ID number to the student's current grade level. And then we got let J be a correspondence that assigns each student's ID number to their grade level. So it's just in words. Which is a function, H or J and Y? So I want you to give that a try. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. Have a good day.